Welcome to Channel Today in History. In today's video we will talk about the day September 17, 1944. Camp David Accords. The two Camp David peace accords, negotiated at the U.S. President's Maryland country home, called Camp David, and signed at the White House by President Anwar Sadat of Egypt and Prime Minister Menachem Begin of Israel, on September 17, 1978. They form a pact of contrahendo by which Egypt and Israel pledged to negotiate in good faith and to sign a peace treaty, in accordance with the principles outlined in the peace accords. President Jimmy Carter, of the United States, was the sponsor and host of the meeting, and actively participated in the negotiations. The Israeli-Egyptian peace treaty was, in fact, later signed on March 26, 1979, in Washington, D.C. The two peace accords, a framework for peace in the Middle East, a framework for peace in the Middle East, and a framework for the conclusion of a peace treaty between Egypt and Israel, a framework for the conclusion of a treaty of peace between Egypt and Israel, contain provisions on how the Palestinian question would be handled. The Palestinians demand the formation of a state of their own in areas over which Israel exercises jurisdiction, and on how the Israeli-Egyptian peace treaty would be negotiated, place and date of negotiations, mutual recognition, evacuation of the Sinai Peninsula by Israel, military limitations on the common border, peaceful settlement of disputes, extinction of economic boycotts, rights of way, etc. Peace between the two countries came after 30 years of hostilities, counting from the foundation of the State of Israel. For Egypt, however, peace with the Israelis meant Egyptian isolation from the Arab and Muslim community, including the country's suspension from the Arab League, which lasted until the late 1980s. Only Jordan followed Egypt's example, concluding an Israeli-Jordanian peace treaty in 1994. While instability has continued to mark Palestine to this day, even partial and incomplete advances like peace with Jordan and the Oslo Peace Agreement would not have been possible without it. Camp David precedent, which demonstrated to the world that Arabs and Israelis were capable of positive dialogue. Did you like the video? In the description you will find the blog link with the full article. Give an incentive by subscribing to the channel, liking, commenting, and sharing with your friends. Hugs. Until the next.